Clippers and the Rockets last night, and it took place in Los Angeles. Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, returning. He got a video montage and everything. But the funny thing is, it didn't matter. Jayar Jackson is here as well. So Staples Center last night, Rockets, Clippers. What I did was I tried to put together everything that you needed to know of what occurred, and then we'll get into what occurred after the game. So here is just a very, very quick snippet of everything that led to the two teams meeting after the game. Take a look.
And he was saying that was on the floor. I didn't see anything there.
Oh, look at this. Griffin gets the ball.
Throwing the ball off. TV. Here's the words.
Ankle.
Patrick Beverly and Austin Rivers having words over here.
I like how Austin Rivers matched his suit and tie with the boot color on his ankle.
You got to do something.
Yeah, right.
You know,
look good.
I would be that guy too, just to make sure. I mean, if you get him a boot, you might as well make it match. I enjoy that.
I feel the same way about my car.
The entire game, I watched opening tip to final. This is basketball. This is one of the aspects of basketball that's fun to watch. So
this is basketball?
This is basketball, man. This is the NBA. This is why you follow teams for years and know the personalities of players, and you get to know and love certain guys and friendships and things they have. When Kyrie left Cleveland, people are like, oh my God, what happened? Then some video of him with Steph at some wedding is a deal, right? Because we care about this stuff. This is fun.
Right,
I don't care what people say. Guys, sports fans in general like drama. We like soap opera shit. This is the type of stuff that we love, and I loved every second.
So here is what Chris Paul had to say after the game as well when he was in the media, there was a media scrum, and here were a few of his remarks. Take a look at that.
Coach told me he elbowed him, you know what I mean? So, and I seen him talking crazy to Coach, so I'm always gonna have Coach back.
What'd you say to him?
I don't know, you probably got it. Ain't no telling, all the cameras in there now, you know what I mean? You probably can tell me what I said better than I did. Whatever it was, I'm sure my mama gonna tell me to watch my mouth.
I love this. Okay.
All right, so real quick, it was about Blake Griffin elbowing Mike D'Antoni, and then they exchanged the fuck yous. Real quick. Yeah. Blake Griffin then was asked about it, so he gave an answer. Take a look.
Two-part question. First one, what did you and D'Antoni say to each other? And then what happened?
You didn't see?
I couldn't see
I
you.
saw it on the scoreboard.
I only saw
So
him.
ask me what I said.
But what did you say?
Well, after he said what he said, I said the same thing back.
Okay. What was it? And then second part, what were you and Trevor saying to each other there? And that happened at the end.
He asked me if I was still coming to his birthday party. I said, yeah, I'm gonna try. We'll see.
He's done stand-up comedy, by the way. I'm not saying that it was like Eddie Murphy-ish or anything like that.
But then he
he's quick on his feet.
He finished that statement with, "We have a different kind of relationship."
Yeah, he might say so. So look, real quick, here's what happened afterwards and why JR is absolutely loving this. So the first one is, it was classic NBA. One Clippers witness told ESPN none of these guys were going to fight. Real quick, do you remember when we did the Lonzo Ball story and he walked away and he's like, no one's gonna fight?
And what they say about Lonzo?
Oh, well, they said like, oh, he should stand up for his teammates and he's soft. Like, no, let's call a spade a spade. So then this is the big part about it. Adrian Wojnarowski, let's start with the middle tweet. Houston Rockets players James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Gerald Green, who just got there, by the way, Gerald Green, pushed into the Clippers locker room post-game looking to confront Austin Rivers. Security escorted the Rockets out before anything turned physical. Rockets players were clamoring for Blake Griffin too. Chris Paul also entered with other Rockets players through a back story that connects teams' dressing rooms, entered through a back door, to be clear. Okay, this is like Chris Paul being like, okay, so guys, I played here for years. I know how to get into the other locker room. And they drew up better plays than like anybody could draw up in the Pittsburgh Steelers game defensively.
Or could draw up in that game they just lost.
Yeah, or in the game they just lost. So what they said happened was they tried to get Clint Capella to go to the front of the Clippers locker room, knock on the door, and some like intern opens the door. This like 5'5" woman, she's like, slams it in his face, but it was all set up for Chris Paul to like have this play of them going around the back in order to get into the locker room. Nothing happened.
And then what?
There you go.
I wonder what the finality of that whole intricate plan to get to the back door of the locker room.
Well, what was going to happen?
Then once you're in, then what, guys?
All right, let me give an example here, and then I want to hear your opinion. The harshest example I could think of is also a great cereal with soy milk, Honey Nut Cheerios. All right? So you have Honey Nut Cheerios, and Kevin Garnett and Carmelo Anthony didn't even throw hands. So why would they throw hands over something that is so petty, which we also went over last week?
In the Honey Nut Cheerios discussion, Carmelo went after Kevin Garnett like in the lot or in the driveway or somewhere in the canals of the, it wasn't the locker room.
It was right by the bus.
Yeah, it was over where some cars and stuff were. It was a vehicle area. So it was at least more accessible than sneaking in a locker room where it's an enclosed area with 50 guys now. Or whoever was left, who knows the time frame is left of that whole space.
All right.
So, okay.
I have more info, by the way.
I have lots of thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is awesome. This is good stuff. That's the first point.
Explain why it's awesome.
It's awesome because, okay, so we clamor for what's going on behind. What did you say to Blake? Oh man, what did you say to coach? What did you say to your coach? What did you say to Austin on the sideline? What did the Reeves say to you? If we want to know all this, then when it happens, stop complaining when they answer the question, number one, or you see it happen. They go, oh, these guys are butter soft. Nobody's gonna fucking fight. So when they
Who are you criticizing, by the way, when you say stop criticizing them or stop being like,
okay,
oh,
so
well, why are we? Yeah.
I hear you. Some fans, NBA on TNT guys, mostly Shaq and Charles Barkley, those two. Kenny wasn't as much on it, but so they crack up laughing because the report afterwards was talking about the canals of the back routes into the locker rooms, and then the police were called, and then even when the Rockets were leaving the arena, the police escorts were around their buses, and then the whole time, Shaq and Chuck are dying laughing, and people were co-signing this. I was following the story consistent because I was like, I want to know how people's reactions are to this because it keeps changing for wherever you feel like is the rule now. So, oh man, I'm loving it. Yeah, Shaq and Charles are laughing at these softies. Yeah, they're not real players. Oh yeah, they ain't about them life and then hands and calm down. Nobody's gonna fight in this league because let's also keep it clear. Trevor Reeves got kicked out. Blake Griffin got kicked out. Honestly, CP3 should have been kicked out. D'Antoni should have been kicked out. If we're gonna play by this soft line of rules,
just let the water boys play and those mopping up the floor.
Because in my opinion, no one should have been kicked out. They were talking. No one shoved anybody. They were in each other's faces.
I know, but
big deal.
We also are aware why referees are going to step in, push everybody aside, and throw guys out because they don't want it to escalate.
So since we're aware of that, stop saying, "Oh man, all NBA players are just soft. They ain't really gonna fight." You know why they're not really gonna fight? Because their careers will be over. Number one, not because they're so soft and all these pussies. And back in the day, we've seen Shaq and Charles Barkley fighting back in the day. You know what they each did?
They went after each other. Yeah.
You know who got hit?
Who?
Nobody. You know why? Because they're so tough guys. They were swinging like this. This is how that fight went. That was that fight. And they're tough guys.
But here's the thing. They also went to that nth degree of being like, okay, well, I'm going to throw a punch. And that's the difference between them and what they saw between the Clippers and the Rockets.
That's back when the NBA allowed that shit. They don't allow it anymore. Thanks to Ron Artest / Meta World Peace / World
friend of the show, Strom Jackson.
Thanks to that whole thing, the NBA is so afraid of these animals breaking out of their cage. Yeah, I blame them. That's bullshit. Nobody's gonna.
But I get what you're saying. Like, of course, am I ever gonna object to Blake Griffin punching Trevor Reeves in the face? No, no. I'll look forward to seeing it one day, hopefully.
We got Hall of Famers that broke each other's faces open. We always talk about when
Rudy Tomjanovich
got his face bashed open.
Also a friend of the show,
right?
Yeah.
So that stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then back in the day, we look at it like with so much nostalgia, but then now, when guys might fight or when they did in like the 2000 area, we're like, oh, look at these thugs. Like, make up your mind. I'm tired of the back and forth. Oh, Lonzo Ball, he walked away and said ain't nobody fighting. You know why he said that? Because everybody says that. And then when he says, you go, what a soft bitch, Lonzo walked away from a fight. Which one is it? I'm so tired of the back and forth. Either be for fights or against them. Either be.
How do you feel about hockey fights?
Hockey fights are what they are. I mean, the thing is, when they've gotten so brutal, guys end up passed out and face hitting ice and bleeding everywhere, that's when people like, there's a line. you know. But if
Wait,
it's a
so
straight
the
up
line
man,
is that because it's on ice?
No,
That's the
I'm
difference?
just saying like hockey's culture, they've allowed it, but there's a line that even hockey fans and players have with sucker punches or sneaking up behind, all that type of stuff doesn't fly. So there's a line, and these guys are huge athletes too, so it's pretty dangerous, and they're on ice. So it's still a dangerous thing, but it's still accepted because we're not afraid of these athletes as much as we're afraid of these athletes. NBA versus NHL athletes. I don't know why? Maybe you can figure it out.
But I guess my main point is like I understand why they wouldn't want it to happen because it's become such a global spectacle and how popular it's become that the last thing you want is similarly to the NFL taking away like the hard hits for their commercials and the way to advertise what they're doing. You don't want YouTube clips to be posted of like, oh, look at how the NBA has become this destructive league of guys that just want to go in there and take each other out, elbow each other in the face and fight each other. Like that's the last thing that Adam Silver wants because right now, in my opinion, the NBA has unseated the NFL. The NFL is going down, the NBA is up, so what do? You protect your product. I get what you're saying.
Like I said, there still should be a line. I'm not saying there should be fights every night in the NBA because yes, somebody's gonna get hit, somebody's career
No, but can you imagine if they were like, hey, all right, 5-minute overtime, we're still tied. We choose Blake Griffin, and they go up like American gladiators, start swinging the shit out of each other. The big, what do you call them? Like the circular things. They rise up from the bottom of the court, and here we go. Everyone's like, yeah, get him. 3-round fight. That's what I say. Screw like the people who hate overtime that are like, oh, I don't want to see double and triple and quadruple overtime. Or like in the NFL when they're like, oh, the best way to solve overtime is for the kickers to decide it. No, nay, American gladiators is how you decide after one overtime, and you elect whoever you want. It could be a trainer who's like on PEDs, roided out like fucking Goldberg at WrestleMania. I don't care. Sorry, I went way off
there. There can still be a line. I'm fine with it. There can still
be a line.
There can be a line. I'm not saying everybody should fight. Just when someone says, hey, fuck you, or fuck you too. Hey, Austin Rivers on the bench, fuck you, I'm gonna get you after the game. Let that go. It's okay. Nobody's really doing anything.
Saying
they're talking.
From
Don't
a referee's
people
perspective
talking,
is what you're saying.
Yeah, man. When someone gets physical, that's when you start seeing people.
Again, you're making my point. Like, it's not up to the referees. The referees are being paid by who? The association, which at the highest point, at the highest figure is who? Adam Silver. So this is something from Adam Silver in the front office in Manhattan, New York, where they are saying if anybody talks shit to anybody, it's automatically by default a double technical. So like, although we're getting mad at the referees, it's really not their fault.
I mean,
They're
I guess I'm
being
mad at the
mandated to do so.
association. You're right. You're right.
Yes.
But I'm connecting them. When I'm saying refs, I mean, because I know that's their job. It's obvious when they say, oh, things are getting chippy. Announcers even say this. On any other game, with no history and no former player coming to play against his former foes or former teammates, now foes, they don't come with the, oh, well, you know, I guess it's not really going to happen. You want it? They say it for a reason because there's something there.
Right.
And then when the referees have to deal with it and they're like, oh, it's getting chippy out there, the refs are going to start taking control of this game, which means they're going to start calling petty shit.
All right, instead of American gladiators, what if we have a slap off?
You know what it'll look like between Shaq and Chuck is.
Thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe to TYT Sports.